Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. We are just shy of 5:30 on Thursday, June the 27th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Brandon's tackling the evening shows, so we are joined by meteorologist Kelly McShane, fresh off of a wonderful vacation. And Kelly, we got a present for you. It's called heat and humidity.
Yeah, unfortunately, Eastern Kentucky has welcomed me back into that summer sizzle, but at least we're off to a dry start this morning. Let's go ahead and check on satellite and radar. A little bit stormy heading into central and western Kentucky, but those showers and storms fizzled out, and we are just dealing with a few clouds this morning. And temperatures across the region into those upper 60s, feeling a little bit muggy out there. And for that coffee meter, you're definitely going to want the iced coffee to go ahead and get a head start on your cool down that you will need this afternoon. And I'll have those temperatures in just a little bit, Will.
All righty, Kelly, thank you. The Kentucky Chamber says there are 150,000 people who could be working but are not. Officials say it is because many have a history of substance abuse. Now, Chamber officials want businesses to change course and consider potential new hires in recovery. Miranda Combs has the story.
Aren't the most updated ones, but our
It was the first of its kind. They expected 70 businesses. 270 showed up, a sign of how bad the problem is.
We have one of the lowest workforce participation rates in the country, which means that on any given day, we have about 150,000 individuals that could be working but are not.
I am thrilled to be joined by our two new employees.
Beth Davidson heads up the Kentucky Chamber Workforce Center. She says the reason so many don't work is either they're locked up on drug charges or still actively using.
You can't do economic development without workforce development.
For the past couple of years, we've profiled Southern Kentucky's struggle to get people to work, the links area development districts have gone to, and the lack of interest from potential employees who would rather get government assistance than a job.
Workforce is the number one situation that businesses look at when they're thinking about coming to a state.
And so far, Davison says the jobs are still pouring into the state. 53,000 new jobs since 2015. But to keep them here, she says the chamber has a responsibility to change the way businesses look at people in recovery.
Treatment is not just the end goal, but getting back to work is. We've built a culture for decades that says, don't touch substance abuse disorder, stay away from it, have a zero tolerance policy, and turn a blind eye.
But that culture, she says, needs to be shifted because 87% of businesses across the country say they are being impacted by drug abuse. The proof by this crowd of companies trying to understand how to change with the times. Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Now, a local hospice center needs your help. The Hazard Center of Bluegrass Care Navigators is growing rapidly. They care for more than 200 patients. Most are home care. Due to a requirement by Medicare, 5% of care must be provided by volunteers. Because of the growth, they struggle to meet the mandatory percentage. Volunteers perform many jobs such as companionship visits, transportation, check-in calls, and administrative work. These tasks support more than just the patients.
It's a huge need, not only to support the patients and families, but also to support our staff. Not everybody is comfortable visiting with patients or sitting next to a patient's bedside, but the support that they can offer to the staff is just as important as that support that they provide to patients and families.
Now, volunteer hours are flexible. We have more information on how to volunteer on our website at WYMT.com. A community in Johnson County is worried after multiple dogs are found dead. We are told local veterinarians believe antifreeze may be the problem. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to one woman who lives there who says it needs to stop before a child is hurt.
Imagine letting your pets out and never seeing them again.
Someone extremely heartless is poisoning dogs in a pretty concentrated area.
That is what many in the Davis Branch community in Johnson County worry about.
We're supposed to be a really tight community, and this is not what communities do.
Lindsay Weber has lived in this area her entire life.
It's just not fair to the community to have to live in fear of their pets just being mass murdered.
In one instance, a black German shepherd named Hank died. Veterinarians determined he likely died from ingesting antifreeze.
They get sick, and then within a few days, they just pass away.
Now, deputies in Johnson County work hard to try and figure out who is responsible.
100% you killed these dogs. It's not, oh, I put the poison out and they may or may not have gotten into it.
Those behind the poisonings could face a charge of animal cruelty.
We're really hoping that we can try to put a stop to this.
Weber says she even worries about the children in her neighborhood.
You destroyed lives. You shattered worlds, and it has to stop.
As they work to keep everyone in their community safer. In Johnson County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you believe animals in your community are at risk, officials ask you to call police immediately. Perry County officials move to protect people from secondhand smoke. The fiscal court recently passed a smoke-free ordinance. The city of Hazard did the same a few years ago. Health officials say the ordinance means no smoking, including e-cigarettes, within 15 feet of any public door or window or inside any public workplace. It is effective immediately. We have told you before about the indebted Black Lung Fund. The premise of the fund is to give disability benefits to minors with black lung or their widows. But as the first of this year, the tax on coal that goes to the fund was cut in half, creating even more issues for the fund. Now, with the help of some fundraising, nearly 100 minors or their widows from several black lung associations across Appalachia are preparing to head to Washington, D.C. WYMT's Connor James has more.
Nearly 25,000 people get help through the Black Lung Fund.
It's not asking too much that the system be funded.
Wes Addington is the director of the Appalachian Citizens Law Center. He works closely with those affected by black lung almost daily. The fund that helps them is deeply in debt.
As of next year, it may not be able to meet all of its obligations for benefits and health insurance for coal miners and their widows.
The tax on a ton of coal that went to the fund was slashed in half this year. Many miners with the disease are at risk of losing those benefits.
They feel like they're not being heard.
That's why several black lung associations will be heading to D.C. next month. Many times we do not see the faces behind the problems.
My name's Jimmy Moore. I have black lung. I've worked 22 years in the mines.
My name's Barry Johnson. I'm a miner, 37 and a half years underground. I have black lung.
I'm Marty Hayes, and I have stage 1.1 black lung.
My name is Linda Adams. I'm a widow. My husband died from black lung.
Their goal is to talk to legislators.
Legislators should be responsive and at least provide them the minimum amount of black lung benefits.
And hope for change.
They're sick. They're not healthy. And the fact that they're forced to go so far just to receive a basic benefit is outrageous.
In Letcher County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The group will depart for Washington, D.C. on July 16th. We have more information about this on our website over at WYMT.com. Students in Johnson County will begin working on cancer research during the upcoming school year, but they'll do it without even knowing. The Johnson County Board of Education purchased new Mac computers this week in partnership with DataSeam. DataSeam connects Kentucky schools to a supercomputer network that is used for cancer research by the University of Louisville's Brown Cancer Center. Johnson County Schools Technology Department says it is happy to be a part of the program.
I know we have the Chromebook initiative, but these computers can do so much more than the Chromebooks, and they're just so more advanced than what those type of computers and stuff are.
For more on this story, head on over to our website at WYMT.com. Well, Pikeville Medical Center announced last week that it would be moving its clinic in South Williamson to a new location in Prestonsburg. Wednesday, CEO Donovan Blackburn let people in South Williamson know they will soon see a larger clinic returning to serve them. Blackburn said the new clinic will be located in the Southside Mall and will be a larger investment than the previous mobile unit. He says things are already moving at lightning speed and he expects part of the new clinic to be open by late September. This space will offer room to grow, which Blackburn says is a long-term plan for the clinic.
What was known previously as the Magic Mart and or the Kmart before that, we will be occupying with a 20,000 square foot, primary care facility and specialty clinic.
Blackburn said the new facility will be a win-win, bringing more medical care to the area and hopefully boosting the local economy through foot traffic at the mall. Most parents are cautioned about too much screen times with kids, but one eye clinic is using that as a way to make eye exams fun, fast, and effective. Believe it or not, there's a popular video game that is changing the way doctors do checkups. Like most eye doctors, Dr. Arnold can use the standard tool to screen for it. But now he uses a Nintendo 3D to do the same job. And because the top screen is three-dimensional, it's done in less time. Well, back here at home, students with Hazard Sailing School put their sailor skills to the test yesterday as they raced around Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park. The sailing school is led by Kentucky State Senator Brandon Smith. Students learned boating skills such as tying knots and steering. It only took them about 3 days before they sailed on their own.
So you're seeing kids literally sailing at this level in 3 days. So third day of sailing. So they understand lift, they understand how the sailboat works. You can ask them any part on there and they can identify it.
Hazard Sailing School is a volunteer-based program. Children are welcome to participate for free. This is their 14th year. Straight ahead, we have more on UK's tour of Eastern Kentucky in the Big Blue Caravan, where members of the Big Blue Nation have the chance to meet some of their idols.
Rain chances may be hit or miss the next few days, but what is for certain is the hot and humid conditions. I'll break down the temperature trend in my forecast next.